All right, welcome once again. So in our last lesson, we're able to actualize this. So we are going to introduce what we call CSS. All right, so because if you go to our browser now, we have this is not well properly uh, sorted or layout. So I want to lay it out, okay? And we said in our lesson 2 that we use the CSS or the style sheet to organize or to properly lay out our web content. All right, so let me just quickly go and do that. So how do you link um, your CSS with your HTML? Now, there are three ways you can do that, but the most recommended way is what I'm going to introduce to you. That is, you create your CSS as a separate file and or as an external file, then you link it up with your HTML. So that is exactly what we are going to do now. So Control N to create a new window, then come to the bottom right corner, click on plain text and select CSS. So automatically it means that this interface will be configured to support CSS. Okay, then let's save. Control S to save. So now make sure it is inside the same folder, but this is a style sheet that we want to create to structure the web content. So, and we are going to save this one in the CSS folder. Okay, so and the name you're going to give it is style. Please, small, everything you'll be typing, ensure it is in lowercase, that is small letter. Okay, in style. So just type style. Okay, and you click on save. So if you go back to the main folder, right now, you could see I still have my three items, but if you go inside this folder, you can see now I have something called style. Okay, it's good. So now how do you link it to your HTML page? Very simple. So you come under this title tag, okay, click on enter. There's what we call link tag. So link tag is like this. So link tag, can you see? Just hit on enter. The text editor will do the rest for you. So this is it, and you have this a link tag, and all of these are attributes for this link tags. So this one is saying relative. Okay, so you want this place to what you want to relate this HTML page to a style sheet. That's what it's saying, that you want to relate this HTML content to a style sheet. Okay, so what is the type of a file that you want to relate it to? Okay, it's a text or in a CSS word folder, but basically you can cut this out because it's no longer relevant anymore. It's an obsolete method, so you can take that one out. So let's just make it simple as this. So what this is, the tag to link any files together is called the link tag, and the link tag comes with attributes which I've explained in our previous lessons. So what this is saying is that relate this HTML content or page or file to a style sheet. So having done that, you say, okay, which style sheet do you want me to reference? Don't forget we said that href means um, 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 HTML reference. So this HTML page, where do you want me to reference it to? So I want you to reference it to a style sheet that I created or a style file that I created in the CSS folder. So don't forget that we store that file in the CSS folder. So you have to first of all reference the folder that is storing the style, then followed by the name of the style. Please, the exact name, and always work with a, followed by the extension. Always work with small lowercase, please, very important. So now if you have done this, you have linked your style sheet with your what HTML. Pretty much any instruction you now give from here would take effect on this HTML. So once you open your style sheet, the first thing you want to do is what we call global selector. Okay, and how do you introduce a global selector? You introduce a global selector just simply by pressing asterisk. That's all. Then open a curly bracket. You can see, please, very important. Let me zoom this for you to see. It is not just a bracket, you can see a curly bracket. So please make sure you are working with the right um, bracket. We call it parenthesis in programming, but layman is still the same thing. So curly bracket. So global selector means select everything on the page. Now if you go to this page now, you will discover that there is a space here which has been given, and there's a space at the top here, okay, just at the top here, and there's a space by the side which has been given by default by the browser. So we want to take away all those pages, just like your notebook. When you want to write, there's always a part of the leaves in your notes that has been ruled as a margin. It is expected that you don't write on it. Okay, it is just a place section out for the teachers to put their remark. So likewise is what the web browser is doing. So it has cut out all these parts so that we will not use it. But I want to totally be in charge of this, so I'm going to override that instruction. And to override that instruction, you use global selector. That is, you want that instruction to cut across the whole page. So there's what we call margin. Literally the word margin, as you can see it in it. So I'll set it to 0. And there's what we call padding as well, also set it to 0. Okay, so you have what we call, the next one is box sizing. So don't let me put this one so that you will not get confused. All right, so let me quickly explain what margin and padding does, particularly in web development. Okay, so imagine you have a frame in your house, that frame, we use it, we can put our picture in there. Okay, now that frame, you are going to hang it on the wall. All right, now the space between the wall, or how will I put it now? Okay, let me look for something. Okay, for instance, let's assume this is your wall. Okay, so this is your wall and this is your frame. Okay, this is your frame. Now your picture goes here, pics, let me use pics. All right, so now this is the wall frame, this is the frame itself, this is its wall. Okay, good, this is its wall. Now the distance between this wall and your wall frame is referred to as margin. Okay, is referred to as margin. Now your picture is inside your frame. So it therefore implies that the distance between your picture and your frame here is the padding. Okay, so that's the difference between padding and margin. Okay, so every tag comes with a rectangular box. Every tag that you use comes with a rectangular box. So the distance between the space between each tags in your HTML is called the margin. Why? The distance between the content and the tag is called the padding, so which I've just explained here. So you have the wall, the distance between your frame and the wall is the margin, while your wall has a content in it, which is your picture. The distance between your picture and your frame, that thicker frame, that thick portion, okay, is now your padding. So please take note of that. It's very important because you would need it. So that is the difference between margin and padding. Okay, margin and padding. So in the next class, I will introduce you to more styling and how we can control our HTML from our style. Do subscribe to this channel if you've enjoyed it. Thank you.